Whenever I am asked what I have done to increase the bottom line or scale my companies, my answer is always the same. I'm a leader, not a boss. I educate, I empower, and I reward my teams. You may think this sounds silly or may even cost more money, but stay tuned to the end of this podcast. I promise if you will implement these simple tactics, many that cost little to nothing, you will experience the growth that I have seen. Simply changing your perspective on how you look at your company can dramatically change the way your business grows. Let's do this, ladies. Welcome to Ladies Kickin' Ass, a podcast for women entrepreneurs working in the skilled trades and home service industries. I'm your host. My name is Tanya Wilson, and against all odds, being a working mama of 5 and a woman, I have built multiple 6 and 7 figure profitable home service companies. I've had it all, lost it all, and built it back better my own way. I'll show you and inspire you to do the same. Here you will learn from myself and guests on what it takes to design, build, and lead a successful service company as a woman in a traditionally stagnant, stuffy, blue-collared world. Our guests have courageous stories of successes that must be told and need to be heard from those still trying to make their way. We share fresh perspectives on everything from marketing and online web presence, networking to finances, leadership, and so much more. It's all here to help you build the business of your dreams. But don't do it alone. This community is full of ladies that are standing out from the pack with their brilliant business plans and funny, relatable, no BS attitudes. Together, we will scale our companies and show you how to obtain amazing online reviews and build brand recognition, all while attracting and retaining the best talent in the industry. I mean, what's the business without your team, right? Oh, and while our ladies are out crushing their work goals, they're finding their own self-worth and identity. Sometimes successfully, other times not. But that's okay. That's what makes this real talk so much more relatable. No one's perfect, and we don't pretend to be here. No excuses. This stuff is hard, but we're doing it together. So get comfy, pop the top on a cold one, and invest the next 30 minutes or so with us. I am so thrilled you are here. My name is Tanya Wilson, and welcome to the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast. Let's learn something new today. Come on. Hi, ladies. Welcome back to another episode of Ladies Kickin' Ass. So today we are talking all about leadership within your business and what a simple 2mm shift can make in creating the team of your dreams and the profits you have worked so hard to achieve in your business. There is a reason that you will hear many career coaches say to job-seeking employees, pick your boss, not the job. Why? Well, who people choose to work for and to report to is a big deal. Think about how much time you spend at work. Do you want to spend that time working for someone who respects you and treats you well, or someone who sits at their fancy desk barking orders at you all day long? Of course, everyone will pick the first one. So how do you become that person as the owner and the leader and basically the boss of your company? When you're a great leader or boss, you will increase the happiness of your employees, which will increase the retention rates at your company, which lowers the turnover cost from having to hire new employees, which will encourage your team to stand with you through the good and the bad times of the business, and of course, increase the sales of your company. Another quote I've heard repeatedly in professional things that I have listened to is people don't quit their jobs, they quit their companies. And it's so true. How many times have you left a business when maybe before your entrepreneurial journey to just go to a different company and do the exact same job? It happens to people all the time. Most people have a trade or they have a skill, especially in our industry, and they just jump from business to business to business to business because one, maybe the first company didn't have their stuff together, or the second company had a really bad boss, or the third company had crappy equipment. I want you to feel secure with the team that you have built and understand what it takes to keep them there for the long haul. That is like the biggest shock in the world to me if someone is to leave my business and go to a competing business and do the exact same work. Fortunately, I have not experienced that in my septic pumping company. So I'm very proud to be able to say that because it takes a hell of a lot of work to get to that point. But I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'm going to show you the real simple ways that you can implement those things so that you don't lose your best team members. Many times it can be something like the owner's or boss's attitude or toxic work culture that just makes people give up on a company. And you don't ever want to be either of those things. If you have a bad apple in your team right now, dismiss them from your team immediately. You can coach skills required to do the job, but attitudes are a little different beast. Remember this when you are building your teams. It's easier and much better to hire for attitude and train the skill than hire the skill and try to change the attitude. That also comes with arrogance. I mean that in the same category as attitude. Sometimes we have people come into these specialty trade companies that are, full of themselves thinking, oh, I already know how to do this, or I can do better than your people that you already have here. Don't hire those people. They will never be an asset for your company. They will only cause problems. If you do that, I promise you, you will probably lose every single time. Get the right attitudes in the right seats. Great bosses and leaders make everybody's life better. Being a leader is not about the title, it is about the action. A boss is concerned about their title. They make sure everyone knows that they are in charge. A leader doesn't even want to have the boss title. I know I don't. I kind of cringe every time somebody comes into my office and calls me their boss or boss lady, as I'm known at sometimes. It's not that I find it disrespectful, but I have tried so hard to cultivate a team where everyone is important to the success of our company. From the boss to the brand new service technician, we are all in this business together and each have a responsibility or an action that makes our company run the way it does. Leadership is a skill that you learn and you will have to cultivate over a long period of time. And I truly never feel someone arrives at being a quote unquote leader. You can be viewed as a leader, but you will always be evolving because you're always working with new people, and that requires us to pivot and become better, or sometimes even different. Being a leader is a challenge, and you must be proactive in looking at yourself in the mirror and constantly asking, am I doing what is best for the team or myself? If the answer is not the team, you need to change something. Because if you're in business for yourself and you have a team, you will lose. Your attitude has to revolve around the team. Yes, you are part of the team. You are the leader of the team. You are the pack wolf. But you must always consider everyone else that makes up that team. Leadership is a humble position. My goal with any of my companies is very simple: to build a team so strong that no one knows who the boss is. That's right. I'm going to say it again. My simple goal with my teams is to build a team so strong no one knows who the boss is. Now, if you're a boss who wants all the praise and kudos for your company succeeding, you need to check yourself. I get so emotional every time my guys or my office tell me that they were asked if they were the owner or the boss of my company. Every time I hear this, I know that I am doing something that is making a difference for all of the people on my team. And the difference really comes down to three things as a leader that you have to have in place and you must implement all the time. One is educate your team. Two is empower your team. And three is reward your team. And we're going to break these down. So we're going to go ahead and start with education. Education can come in so many different forms. So let's explore those for a minute. Every service industry has specialized trainings that you can send your employees or your teams to. Even in the special little niche of the industry of septic systems, there are plenty of training courses that we can send our technicians to. And they range from soil testing to septic inspections for home sales and operations and maintenance, and even a vacuum truck training course. There is also a Business 101 course that will be coming out that I am a part of this year, and I'm so excited to do that. That will be teaching people how to set up their businesses properly and how to market them to be able to run a successful business. If your industry has these special industry specific certifications or licenses that you must have to run your business, look there first. Oftentimes, people don't even know what exists, and it's really hard sometimes to communicate with home service or skilled trades business because they're not massive emailers or social media people generally. So it's harder to get out the information. If you are a part of any kind of union or labor force or accreditation, there's always trainings that happen. I know even like the BBB, many people are involved in that. They do training. There is tons of online training courses that you can buy for anybody that is in your organization. I mean, there's literally a course called the Grease Trap Whisperer for our pumping company that you can watch and you can learn all about grease traps. So there is something for everybody out there. Don't be a stingy boss either and only send your top people or pay for training for your top people. Involve everyone at your company. Even my office staff has been through our septic inspection courses. Are they going to go out and do them personally? No. But they handle all the paperwork once the inspections are completed, and they need to know how the processes work and how the inspectors came to the conclusion that they did about the health of the systems. Plus, my office staff is typically the mouthpiece for the inspection process. They book it, they explain what's going to happen while they're out there, they can explain what happens after it's done, and if there's any further problems or needs for remediation, they can direct them where they need to go afterwards because they have been through the same training as the guys out in the field have been. The more that they know, the better our team is, and the more customers come to trust us because we're knowledgeable. And then they continue to bring their business to our company because everyone who works there knows what the hell they are doing and can walk the walk and talk the talk. We earn raving reviews all the time from our customers about the knowledge of the ladies in the office. That makes me so proud and so happy to see those. Lots of times, only the service technicians or the people that get in front of the faces of the customers are recognized. And we're about half and half with that at our company. And so that's a really cool thing for you to implement to even give reward back to your office staff for being knowledgeable and helpful on the phones. Education can also be provided consistently during team meetings. And if you're not having team meetings with your entire staff, I mean from laborers to owners to office assistants, managers, supervisors, and all, you are missing a huge opportunity for team unity and solidarity. We have our meetings every Wednesday at 6:30 a.m. And these meetings are used to bring the field and the office staff together to chat about jobs that may require additional scheduling or further work. The office team can communicate to the field staff about updates in policies or procedures or even software updates for our systems. And let's be real, sometimes we have to ride on the technicians because they're not super technologically savvy, and we have to remind them to do pictures or put in notes or hit the start button or hit the finish button in the software. So these are great touch points in the middle of the week to be able to give those reminders. I personally use this meeting as the leader to provide a form of education, to empower my teams to work together to solve complicated job situations, and to reward those team members that have had excellent reviews for the week and call out specific people for doing something above and beyond their call of duty. Education during this time can look like a quick safety training video, motivational education, organization, or just customer service tips that we think would be great to pass on to the entire team. When everybody hears it and everyone knows that it's an expectation, you are more likely to get a consistent result from your team. Don't try to communicate all of this to everybody individually. Do it all together. Then they almost hold each other accountable for being at that standard, which is really, really cool. Quarterly, we also come together for a paid training on a Saturday where we work on both personal goals and business goals. I purchase a training course or I find a free YouTube video that can motivate my team, either personally or professionally, to set new goals for the upcoming quarter. We have this board in our office that is called the Can You Imagine Vision Board. And I actually heard this from Brian Scudamore, who actually started 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And I just thought it was a great idea. So on this board in quarter one, everyone is asked to make 3 personal goals and 2 work goals that they would like to achieve for the upcoming year. And these are like big goals, like big, crazy goals that we want to crush this year. At our quarterly meetings, we check in on them and with each other. Focusing on your employees as people first and employees second will not only produce better employees, but amazing people. Amazing people take care of your business as if it were their own. Amazing people care about your customers. And happy customers come back to you. You get where I'm going here. When you get to the place in your business financially where you can send your teams to different daily or weekly trainings, do it. Even if you send them to trade shows or equipment shows, you cannot afford not to do this as your business grows. The tools that got you here won't get you there. And what I mean by that is everyone needs to be constantly improving their education and personal development tools to take on bigger challenges that arise with a growing company. Second, you need to empower them after you've given them this education. Once you've given them the education, they need to kick some serious ass in their positions. Empower them to use it. One of the most amazing ways to build trust with your team is to put their questions to you back on them. I do this all the time. Many times when employees are not empowered by their leader, they will ask questions to that person. Even though they may already have the answer, they just need some validation. I challenge you to put those questions back on them. Next time they come in to ask you a question, ask them, how would you handle that? Watch the expression on their face the first time you ask them that. It's a shock and then a smile. nearly every single time I have done this. Shock at first, like, you want me to answer you? And then a smile, like, I got this shit. This is what I would do. Let me explain. Every time I get this reaction, my heart beats a little harder with pride towards my employees. The next time they need validation, they will come to you with a little different approach, a little more confidence. Maybe something more like this. Hey, here's a situation. I was thinking I should. What do you think about that? At that point, give them your opinion. Empowering them to do the problem solving and answer questions will cultivate their ownership in your company. Do not micromanage your team. Give them the tools they need and set them free. If you have the right people in the right positions, you should never have to micromanage anyone. If properly trained and educated, this should be one of the most exciting parts of your leadership entrepreneurial journey ever. To be honest with you, I've really just kind of hit that point with this current team that I have, and it's such an amazing feeling. It's like you accomplished something, but it wasn't you, it was them, but it still affects you because it started with you. I know that sounds confusing and a big old cluster mess, but it's really cool. And lastly, we have to reward our employees. Whenever I talk about the way that I reward my teams with other business owners, they look at me like I'm crazy. When I get that look from someone, my reaction to them is probably the same way, only backwards. You are crazy that you don't get how beneficial this is to building your team. Rewards can come in a million different things in a million different ways, but here are a few of my favorite things that I love to do for my teams. The $50 handshake. I learned this one from listening to a lot of Dave Ramsey podcasts. It stuck in my head the first time I heard it, and I was like, someday I'm going to be able to do that. So this is what it is. When someone on the team is doing outstanding, or has really been shining in online reviews, or has just problem solved a sticky situation at a job, where maybe they were second guessing themselves, but it turned out favorably and they increased sales and even changed an upset customer into a happy one, give them a handshake when they come into the office and give them a crisp President Grant. That's right. Stocks $50 bills in your desk just for this. Tell them this is a reward for fill in the blank. Tell them that you appreciate what they did, and tell them that that $50 is for them to treat themselves. Not bills, not any obligations, but a treat. Dinner with their spouses, friends, happy hour, beers, whatever. Do this once, and I promise you, you can't wait for the next opportunity to do it again. It is so fulfilling as a leader to do this, and it will change your employees' perspective of you forever. I mean, how many people actually do that simple little task? Very few. Offer incentive for sales for your team. If you are in the home service industry, your guys and gals are out there selling your service. They are also selling products most of the time. If not, they can certainly have an opportunity when in front of the customer to upsell a premium service or even a maintenance agreement. My field technicians are incentivized with each additional sale that they make at 25% of the upsell. Let me illustrate this for you. So let's say my guy goes out to pump a septic tank and they must dig down to the tank because the lid is 4 feet deep. This takes 2 hours. The cost to the customer is $125 per hour for labor, so $250. While my technician is out there on the job, he or she can easily sell a 4-foot riser to install on top of the septic tank that will bring the access point to grade level, eliminating the need to ever have to dig down to the tank for the pumping service again. The riser is $400. Well, this is kind of a no-brainer to someone who is looking for easier access, less disturbance of their yard every couple of years for pumping maintenance, and it will pay for itself with 2 services anyways. My technicians have been instructed to sell through education. Providing the education empowers the customer to make the choice, and the tech feels less like a salesman and more like a teacher. If he sells the riser for $400, he gets $100. Guess what? My tech sells a lot of these. It's $300 the business didn't have when we were dispatched to the service, and my tech gets to put $100 in his or her pocket. And the customer doesn't ever have to replant their grass again. Win-win. They might actually even service their system more often. Set up an incentive program for your office or your support staff too. Incentivize them to seek out customers to work with. Do their own marketing with business cards or marketing materials that you have provided for them. And when your business gets to a point where you can, try to incorporate a profit sharing program for your team. The collective efforts will reward each other. So super, super cool. Also incentivize late night and weekend calls. Charge more and split that however you see fit with the technicians. They love it. My point to this reward is never cap the earning potential of your team. Always give them an incentive to make more money. It's on them to take you up on this, and it's a huge opportunity to increase the bottom line for your company. Team building activities is another big thing that I do. I simply don't understand how anybody could miss this. We so look forward to these events. This is what I've implemented at my business and have for years. See if one of these might work for your company too. There are tons of things to do. I'm not telling you which ones, just do one. We have company barbecues. I invite my team and their families over, and we get to know each other and hang out outside of work and really get to know what makes them tick. Birthday happy hours. If you work on my team, we never miss a birthday happy hour. We close our doors at 4 p.m. and we go out to a local watering hole, typically one that we like to service. And then sometimes we're even joined with the spouses, and we go out and celebrate that person for who they are and wish them a great happy birthday. Another note, bring them a present. It can be one little thing. It can be a $100 bill and a card, but make sure that you make it personal. Make sure you don't talk about who they are as a person at work. Talk about the person that you enjoy them being themselves. We also have holiday parties or different kinds of gestures throughout the entire year. At Christmas time, spend a little extra on your employees. Throw them a Christmas bonus. At Thanksgiving, give them a card and tell their entire family thank you. Here's another big one. You can also get to know what the birthdays are of the family members that you have in your team, and make sure that you just send a birthday card and $20 to everybody that is in the employee's family when it is their birthday. Makes everyone feel included in the business. Here's the real deal. When employees and team members feel respected and appreciated, your business will do amazing things. In conducting interviews this week, I can't even begin to tell you how many people stated those things in a business that they wanted out of a job. Like, they did not want to be a number anymore. They wanted to use their business skills and make an impact somewhere and be recognized and respected for what they've accomplished. Ladies, this is not hard. You are the leader of your company, and that gives you the ultimate power to implement one or any of these things at any time you want to. There's absolutely no corporate bullshit here that's telling you that you can't do any of this stuff. It's all up to you. Start with one, even a small one. You'll want to add more. I promise you that. In closing, as promised, if you will implement education, empowerment, and rewards into your service company, you will not only have the most loyal team of kick-ass employees, but you will see exponential growth in your sales. My business is up, I'm not even kidding, 99.2% this year. That's staggering. And guess what? It's the same equipment and it's the same team. I poured my heart and soul into building this team of owners. And that is what we have. When owners are working with you, They always do what is best for the company, resulting in higher sales, happier customers, and super happy, loyal employees. Make it your goal this week to implement at least one of these things into your business. Let me know what you did. Let me know how it's working out. Ask for feedback after you've done a company event and see what everybody thought about it. Take them to Topgolf for the afternoon. Take them to a spring training baseball game. If there's a concert in town that people are excited about, do that. If there's a beer festival in town, if there's a chili festival in town, there's so many things that you can come up with and just offer tickets, and make it something that they can bring their family with. When the family feels included in the business and it's not just the husband or wife or mom or dad that's going to work and they just have work and the kids don't really know what they do, they're not fully invested as a family in your business. And that is something that I'm very proud to say with my businesses, that the people that work for our company, their families are invested in this business. I've met each and every one of my technicians' children. Some of them have come and spent the night at my house with my children. They're friends. They talk outside of that. The ladies go to happy hour sometimes, even without the guys, or we celebrate our technicians' wives or husbands' birthdays by taking everybody out for that too. They're just as important in the role that the employee plays here as the employee is sometimes, because when there's a happy life at home, there's a happy life at work. So really value your employees for who they are as people first, and allow them to have that education that will make them better people and employees. Allow them to be empowered to use it. Give them space. Let them show you what they can do. And lastly, reward them handsomely for what they do. That reward might cost you $50, but you will get thousands of dollars back out of that in rewards and the way that your employee will treat your customers. If you need help coming up with a personalized strategy for your team, my contact info is down in the show notes, and I'd love to brainstorm with you. Thanks for being with me. Now go out there and kick some ass. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast. I would love to invite you to become part of our exclusive community on Facebook groups. There is so much value there in inspiring you to chase your goals and coaching you on how to get there. Plus, you get the support of other women from across the world who have also joined. You can also find us all over social media and at our website, ladieskickingass.com. All social media platform links are in the show notes below, so we've made it nice and easy for you. Be sure to join so you are the first to hear about exciting programs and announcements that we have coming up. And ladies, there's some good stuff. And never miss a notification for an exciting new podcast episode release. If you yourself are a lady that is kicking some serious ass and you have an awesome story that you would love to share with our audience about running your business while raising your family and becoming the woman of your dreams, I want to talk to you. Check out our website at ladieskickingass.com/podcast, where you can apply to be a guest on our show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Tell me what you think of it with a rating and share this episode with anyone you think it may inspire or help. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next Friday. Bye for now.